How much did you learn in the review out of the last sort of couple of minutes of that game last week?
Oh, not a great deal, to be honest. I mean, we knew immediately what we did well and what we did poorly. So, the challenge is now to really coach it well and to make sure that when we're in that situation again, we close out the game.
You had 3 close losses under a goal this year. Does it start to become in players' head when you have a number of close losses?
No, and I think they're all different circumstances too. I mean, the Hawthorn game, we were on the other end. We were coming at them pretty hard, and we just couldn't. The siren went too early. I think the game went a little bit longer. We felt like we had the momentum. So the game on the weekend, we were mostly in front. Geelong, we were mostly in front. But they're all different circumstances, and the really important thing for us is that we learn from those situations, and we're really fortunate that we've been put in those situations against really good opposition because it tests you out. And we've been found wanting when it's really important, and we'll learn from that and get better.
Just when you talk about sort of coaching through those last few minutes on the weekend, did you feel like you actually did a lot wrong? Because when you had a couple of sort of 50-50 free kicks that obviously helped them, you didn't did you actually make many mistakes yourself?
Oh, structurally, no. We actually did pretty much everything that we train and practice, and we had everyone in the positions where we want them. I really felt for Lockie Hansen. He just got caught a little bit too deep. When he played in front all night and was our best player on the day, so or on the night. So they're really minor things that we can fix really quickly, but obviously they have a huge impact on the result of the game. So structurally, we were pretty good. I mean, we had a rush shot at goal, to basically win us the game in the last 2 minutes there, which gave West Coast the ball back. So that was a bit disappointing too, but we'll learn from that.
What did you say to Lockie after the game? I guess that's one of the tough gigs in coaching. How do you read it? You said he was one of your best players, but obviously his opponent was Nick Naitanui. Yeah,
but I mean, Lockie took 5 contested marks or 6 contested marks, something like that, and most of them were on Naitanui. So there are not too many players in the competition who are capable of doing that. He made a split-second error of judgment, and that happens in footy. And the challenge for those players is not to dwell on it, is to say, look, acknowledge I made a mistake, work out how to fix it, and go about training it really well. And I'm really confident that Lockie will do that. He's been through some pretty tough times in his short footy career already, and this is just something else he'll learn from and get better.
Are you comfortable those 2 decisions have been ticked off on by the AFL umpiring department?
I haven't given it a minute's thought, Julian. Not even a second's thought. I mean, it's not going to change the result. Whatever the umpires department say, they've got a job to do. I'm not. 2 years ago, I resolved to stop calling the umpires department when I disagreed with a decision, and because it's never helped us in the past, and I don't think it'll help us in the future. The umpires make it really clear as to the way they adjudicate the game. We have a very clear understanding as to what that is, and we'll just keep doing our best to play within the rules.
Overall, though, would you like to see a bit of a change to that rule where if players drop the knees, it's almost treated like a player ducking their head?
I just think it's one where we've got some really, in a lot of ways, preeminent people looking over the laws of the game committee, and they'll make the decision that's best for the game in general. My job is to spend time coaching our players and working on the things that we can control. So I'm not going to waste any time worrying about that, thinking about that. We're just going to keep coaching.
Did you lose any sleep this week just on the result? You toss and turn at night. Does it play on your mind?
No, not really. I mean, you move on really quickly to the next opposition and what we've got to work on. I've got my hands full trying to coach 45 guys the way we want to play. So I'd be letting them down. I'd be letting the club down if I was dwelling on things that I couldn't change.
Robbie Tarrant progressing?
Yeah, he's a lot slower, obviously, than we'd hoped, but we're hoping he's only a couple of weeks away from resuming. But he'll train today, and as we've been doing, we've just got to assess how he pulls up. And if he pulls up well, he'll progress to the next stage, and hopefully he's only 1 or 2 weeks away from playing.
Would that likely be via the VFL?
Well, he's been close to 6 weeks now, so that's something we'd have to assess depending on how well he trains. But it's probably looking more likely. I don't think there are too many players in the comp who can come back after 6 weeks out.
Matt Jack had a pretty quiet game on the weekend. I mean, is that something you just sort of got to expect from him at this early stage of his career? What did you sort of say to him afterwards?
Yeah, he got his opportunities early. He just didn't quite take them. So that's a key forward's lot at times, and he struggled a little bit, but 5 games in, you expect some ups and downs. So we'll just keep working with him on the things we've been working on over the last 3 years. He's a young player and he's capable of the brilliant, but he's not going to produce that, every week.
Been praised for going up to John Worsfold after the game in a tough situation. Can you tell us what you said?
I actually approached Darren Glass. I wish it just happened to be out there as well, and I congratulated him for his win. And I think Darren Glass has been a champion of the game over a very long period of time. This probably makes him feel old, but I remember playing against him, quite regularly, and I had enormous admiration for him then, and even more admiration for him now. It's just a super effort, 250 games, and captain of a premiership team. He's been a wonderful player, and I thought he deserved to be congratulated.
Do you see yourself as still in the mix, and obviously given the way you're playing, just hoping that those close losses turn into wins and you get the season back on track type thing?
Oh, look, I think in terms of the way we're playing, we've shown where we can be competitive against everyone. We've got to convert those into wins, which we're really confident is going to happen. But I think it's a really open season. I think that, we look at the 5 teams we've played who we regard as probably in the top 6 teams in the competition, but that's probably being a little bit disrespectful to Port Adelaide, Fremantle and Essendon, who are clearly right in the mix. So, Geelong were beaten on the weekend. Hawthorn is still going really well, but I think it's very, very difficult to pick the best 5 sides in the competition right now. And the way we play, we're probably a little bit off that. But we start to get on a roll. I think we can challenge them and get ourselves into a winning position.
So the latter position might not suggest it, but the way you seem to be talking, you think you've improved still on last season? Are those the way you're going? Or?
Yeah, that's without doubt. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We've improved in every area. All our numbers look really good, but we're 3 and 5. That's the most disappointing number at the moment. So, but we're really clear as to why that is, and we think we can fix that really quickly. And we're getting some great exposure in really big games against really good opposition. And that's just fantastic for us.
Just on the Crows, Brad, what do you make of them over the past couple of weeks? They seem to be on the improve.
Yeah, got obviously very disappointing to lose Walker, but really got the nucleus of their midfield back together, and I think it's a real strength. They bat very deep in there, and they're looking really ominous. So I think that it's going to be a great game this week, and we're going to have to be at our best, that's for sure.
Back on Majak, obviously he's going to have his ups and downs because it's early days. Do you remain patient with him? Do you guarantee him a spot this week? Do you say I'll give you 10 weeks? Or
No, we wouldn't give him 10 weeks, but I mean he'll play this week. We've been patient with him over a long period of time. We're talking years, not weeks. So we're really clear as to where he sits in his development, what he's got to improve on, and we'll keep working with him. But we'll keep picking the side that we think is going to give us the best chance of winning. And right at the moment, Majak's clearly a part of that.
Well, have you had the Cracker brothers either coming in or they've been in to address the group?
Yeah, both Phil and Jimmy are coming in to speak to the guys, and it's something, Indigenous round, something we really celebrate at North Melbourne. We've had more Indigenous players than come through our club than any other in the competition, and we're really exceptionally well led right at the moment with Daniel Wells and Lindsay Thomas, who's just continues to grow as a footballer and as a person. And last time the Cracker brothers came down to speak to us, Lindsay kicked 7, so we should bring them down every week.
Already a bit of talk about free agency, Brad. Some big names have been, are free agents this year. Do you feel North Melbourne's now in a position to get in that market and try and lure one of those big names?
Yeah, I think we're in a really aggressive phase in terms of reducing our debt as a football club. We really need to grow some initiatives to ensure that we're paying 100% of the salary cap, which we're not right at the moment. But we've got some things coming up which we're really going to push hard, because paying 100% is critical in the modern age. And we've got the room to look at free agency, but we've got a really clear model with our list going forward, and we won't jeopardise our current playing list to look at free agents. But where opportunities present themselves, we think we'll be in the mix.